Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Fine. I'm doing well, thank you very much. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Conferences, trade shows,
Yes.
how to make the best of it, how to prepare, how to show up, how to follow up. Powerful
Wow, a
tool.
lot of things. It's a powerful tool. I think a lot of people like conferences. I think it goes between loving conference and really, really hating it because you have to what
I
we
love
call
it.
schmooze with people. You love it, right? I know you do.
Hmm.
I'm a little I'm a little on the fence. Like when I'm there and there's the energy and the people, I love it, but the preparation beforehand, the figuring out my pitch and how to and you see like a group of people and you have to come in and introduce yourself. At the beginning it's a little difficult, right? I think
I
from the
think we need,
beginning, yeah.
yeah, I think we can break it apart. And I think the crucial part is, especially in the United States, there's so many conferences in so many cities. So I think the number one tool is you have to be strategically very focused. Why are you going? What are you trying to achieve?
This
That's so easy, but it's very complicated. You have to be very clear. Are you looking for a partner? You're looking for investors. You're looking just to have fun. You know, the conference in Vegas and Miami. Maybe you just want to do fun. Be
Yeah,
very clear.
there was this huge conference the other day in Israel here. It was 3 days in Eilat. I will not say I wasn't like really sorry I didn't go, right? Look, there's so many photographs on LinkedIn and smiles and everything, and I'm sure there were a lot of deals. I couldn't go. I personally couldn't take 3 days off and go there. But that's the real question. How do I know? I guess when is the right conference for me?
So first, there's endless of conferences. So first, understand what are you trying to get out of it. Again, and maybe you need just five key people, three key people that you're trying to pitch, to find, to get to know, to get in front of it, if it's worth it. Look about it as a whole expenses, including traveling, including being off from work. I'm flying to New York for a week. It's going to be a very expensive trip. Is it worth it? That's an investment. If
How
does
would I
does the
know?
investment is worth it? How do you know? Depends where you are. If you are in the startup and you're paying your engineers $20,000 a year, and now you're going to spend $15,000 on one-way conference, maybe it's not the right time for you to do it. But if you're desperately looking for a co-founder and you know that this specific industry or this specific talent will be with a whiskey glass at the bar at this specific location, you do your homework, you show up, you do your best, you work on your pitch, and you're hoping for the best.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that we need to do a lot of homework before we go there, which does not seem like that because a lot of people, when you go to conference, can just, be in the crowds, enjoy some lectures, say hello to some friends or colleagues,
No,
and be done with it. So you're saying no,
no,
okay?
no, big time no. I mean, if you have the endless time and endless resources, fine, enjoy the conferences. Usually they're good and they have to be good. But I think the few key things you have to do before a conference. A, understand where you're going. B, do the homework. Choose 3 to 5 key people that you must meet. Do the homework about them. Don't just show up and say, look at, usually there's an app, there's a syllabus, there's a program. It doesn't
Right.
matter who, how, do the homework and say, I'm going to meet Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z. I know the background, I know what they're working on, be prepared.
Should
Then,
I, sorry, before the C, I just want to ask, should I try to contact the people on the app before I get to the conference? Like it's another question that we need to take into account because
yes,
you're able to
yes,
to schedule appointments.
yes, and no. So it's depending on the culture, depending on the space, depending on the time. But if you're definitely flying, I would definitely contact in advance. I would definitely have key people because usually the magic happens not in the regular schedule. If a group of 100 people coming to New York City, it's going to be a VIP club or something after hours. It's going to be a special lunch. It's going to be the day after the conference, or maybe they're coming a day before conference. And that's exactly where the magic happens. Not on the panels necessarily, not in the boring or typical stuff. It's behind the scene. It's before the conference. It's after the conference. It's dinner. That's where the magic, and you want to make sure you will be invited. Somebody will open the door, so you will sit in front of that person. And I can say from my personal experience, that's how I met the most key, powerful people that I never gonna meet any another location. But somehow I spend the dinner with them and I get to know somebody who I would never meet in any other circumstances.
Okay, so this is good. Also, the vibe is different in conferences, what, right? Because you approaching somebody in a like in the middle of the street is very different than approaching somebody in a conference. It does not mean it's much easier because a lot of people are struggling with this, and I think this is something we can talk about in the next episode. But it's different. There's the vibe, right? What we call a vibe. There's openness. There's an ability to approach, but we do need to know, as you're saying, to do our homework and to understand how to go about it, and not just aimlessly go and wander around and hope that maybe I'll meet somebody, which happens by itself, by the way. Like it's important to say, right? If you're going there just because you have this budget, you want to be seen, you're not sure exactly who you need to meet yet, but you want to be seen, it's also probably important. Like what do you do if you cannot come up
Yes.
with a plan?
Well, so let me get to the practical point, and I hope that will help to answer your question.
Okay.
If you know why you're going to, and you answer yourself the question, and you have at least a reason where or who you're trying to meet, and you laser focus on that, then the next step will be knowing how to pitch. Work on it. Have your 30 seconds elevator pitch. Have your business card. Assume that the business card is not going to work because it's going to be too many people or the Wi-Fi is going to go down. Have a plan. How are you going to exchange phone numbers? How are you going to change? Where are you going to follow up? How do you take notes? 5 steps ahead. The more you do it, the more better you'll get out of a conference. And lastly, to your point, is don't waste the time. If the conference starts at 9 o'clock, you can waste the entire day. You're going to show up late. You're going to start in the corner. You're going to do the no. It's not a vacation. 6 a.m. You if that's in Miami, 6 a.m. You on the yoga on the beach. I promise you, you're going to meet the best people because if somebody's going to be at 6 a.m. in the gym or on the yoga, he's going to be a very key person that you want to meet.
Gosh, I really need to go to the conferences you go to. My conferences never start on the beach with yoga, but I would definitely want to go and do that.
They're not,
Okay.
but they're not, but it's usually a hotel, and the hotel has a gym. So you can waste time. You can show up to the late breakfast and start your day slow, or you can show up at the gym and people who are, despite everything else, they're traveling and they're still in the gym, they're serious people. You want to
That is
be in the
so
right
important.
room. That's just example of how you show up. And lastly, when you walk into the room, put the biggest freaking smile that you possibly can fake, if you need to fake. And any person that in front of you, you put your hand in front, you say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, until somebody say, oh, hi, good morning to you too. What do you do? Thank you for asking. I am doing so and so. I'm a business consultant. What's your challenge? Oh, thank you for asking. Boom. Okay, so you have to bring that energy to the room again and again and again,
Which is exhausting. But we'll talk
which is
about it in our next episode.
exhausting. Yeah.
It's exhausting, but it can be amazing. So I want to sum up a little bit about what we spoke about today, because this is the beginning of a few chapters. We'll be discussing going to conferences and how to get the
There's so
best of the
much. Yeah.
conferences. There's so
How to
much to talk
follow up.
about, but I think just saying it in 2 words, in a few words, plan ahead, right? Plan ahead and
Plan
don't
ahead, do the homework,
do
and
the
show up.
show up. And we'll talk more about in the next episode about how to approach it, especially if it's not so natural to me just to go ahead and approach people and present myself. I this is something we'll definitely talk about it in the next episode, but one key thing is the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And I can 100% guarantee. So let's discuss this in the next episode. Okay?
See you in the next show.